Hey folks, it's Jeff for This with JTT. This is about what's going on with Sean Diddy Combs. This is from CBS News. This is what it says here. What to know about the Sean Diddy Combs trial so far. Sean Diddy Combs is accused of sexually essaying, trafficking, and exploiting women over multiple decades before he was arrested last September. Combs faces several charges, including racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion, 2 counts, and transportation for the purpose of prostitution, 2 counts. On the first day of the trial, jurors heard testimony from a hotel security manager about the 2016 beating of singer Cassie Ventura, as well as testimony from a man who said he was paid to have sex with her while Combs watched. Ventura was called to take the stand Tuesday morning. Her testimony was expected to last the entire week. Wow, okay. Now, this week is interesting here. Who is Cassie Ventura? Glad you asked. Ventura, who performs under the name Cassie, who rose to fame with the single Me and You on a self-titled album. The song landed the #1 spot in the Billboard Hot R&B/hip-hop charts in 2006. She and Combs dated off and on from 2007 to 2018. That's about more than 10 years. Security video of Combs attacking Ventura in a Los Angeles hotel in 2016 is expected to be shown in a trial by the prosecution. The trial obtained and published the video obtained and published by CNN last year, showing Combs throwing Ventura onto the ground before kicking and dragging her. In 2023, before the video was published, Ventura filed a federal lawsuit against Combs, accusing him of rape and physical abuse. After years in silence and darkness, I'm finally ready to tell my story and to speak up on behalf of myself and for the benefit of other women who face violence and abuse in their relationships, Ventura said in a statement to CBS News at the time. With the expiration of the New York Adult Survivors Act fast approaching, it became clear that this is an opportunity to speak up about the trauma I have experienced that I will be recovering from the rest of my life. A statement was announced one day after filing, but the details were not disclosed. Combs later apologized for his behavior in the video, but denied the allegations in the lawsuit. It's one or the other. Can't have it both. This was like from May 12th. This was on May 12th, which was probably yesterday, at about 5:53 p.m. 20 minutes ago, lunch break, which is pretty funny. Well, you gotta eat. Yeah, jury duty is not fun. Let's say that yours truly might be. I'm not going to talk into it, but let's say someone had to go have jury duty. Let's say someone got to deal with jury duty. I'm not going to say who. God, I don't want that person get in trouble. This person got to deal with jury duty. That's all I'm going to say on that. The court adjourned for lunch shortly after 12:20. It will resume at 1 p.m. So as soon as I can know, 30, 40-minute lunch. 25 minutes ago, Ventura says freak-off became her job. Whoa. Ventura said that she recorded hundreds of songs and 9 albums that were never released. When asked what else she was doing, she replied the freak-offs became her job, with no space for anything else. Wow. She said she would stay up for days on end, partying, drinking, having sex with strangers. Ventura says the freak-offs took anywhere from 36 to 72 hours of her time each week, and the longest lasted for 4 days. She says she would then have to recover for staying up for so long, plus the drugs and dehydration. I'm surprised no one died for these things. Are you serious? We read this carefully. This reads off from a transcript. Yep. This reads like a transcript here. and her job of being in the freak-offs. Whoa. Okay, 43 minutes ago, Victoria describes beginnings of their relationship with Diddy. Victoria says they traveled to Miami where they did ecstasy and had sex for the first time. She said she fell in love and they spent time traveling together or in the studio. She said that they kept the relationship private at first out of respect for their careers and for his family. I think I was just enamored by him. We were just having a good time. It was really fun at this point, she says. Yeah, that's before the web closed in on you. Victoria says over time she began seeing a different side of Combs. He became controlling. She said if she didn't answer his messages right away, he would have his staff track her down. Control was everything from the way I looked to what I was working on that day, who I was speaking to, she says. Control was all around thing to a certain point. So basically, Diddy was a megamaniac control freak. He was like an Uber control freak, basically. That's when the psychological and physical abuse starts, she says. She goes on to say that both saw each other over the years and she was jealous. She also said Combs rented her an apartment in Manhattan as a birthday gift. She added it was located near his residence and he would stop by unannounced. Surprise. This is from 11:51 a.m. Ventura says relationship changed on her 21st birthday. Victoria says that she celebrated her 21st birthday in Las Vegas with Combs and some friends. She said that that's when he first kissed her in the bathroom of his suite. She said she cried, ran up and told her friends, adding that she was naive, a new artist who didn't know the lay of the land when it comes to attention from executives. Victoria says after that she continued to meet Combs at hotels for work, to work on music, but he calls the shots. She also said that they started to develop more comfortable relationship and Combs taught her about oral sex. Whoa. Which she did not reciprocate at first, but later did. She described it feeling nervous and curious about during these meetings, and that she was sexually inexperienced and still seeing someone else. She asked why she wanted to be around Combs. She replied, for the same reason as everyone else does. Just this exciting, entertaining, fun guy, she says. And that she had her career in his hand and it felt special to spend time with him. This is from 11:31 a.m. How Victoria met Combs. Victoria recalls being a fan of Combs' music, saying that he was larger than life, but that she didn't know that much about him personally. She said that she signed a contract with Bad Boy Records in 2006 when she was 19 years old. She was a young thing. She said she signed a contract with Bad Boy Records when she was 19 years old. Victoria says at this point it was a platonic relationship, and Combs looked out for her. She released her first and only album later that year, and her single "Me and You" landed a #1 spot at Billboard magazine Hot R&B Hip Hop chart. This is gonna be a long one, but I'm gonna try to get through this best I can. Victoria says Combs introduced her to the idea of freak-offs. This is to get seedy here. Victoria said in her first year in the relationship, Combs suggested a sexual encounter called voyeurism. You watch other people do the deed, basically. She said it involves hiring an escort or dancer so she could watch her engage with another man while he directed them. She said she was 20 years old, confused and nervous, but I loved him very much and wanted to make him happy. She also said over time she realized it wasn't something she wanted to be doing so regularly, but she didn't feel like she had a voice to say no. She said she was worried about making angry because he controlled much of her life, including her career and how she dressed. She also worried about he could blackmail her by releasing images from the freak-offs. This is from 11:40 a.m. Ventura said violence happened frequently. Not good. Ventura appeared on a stand in a brown long-sleeve dress, describing herself as a musician and entertainer. She testified that her and Combs dated a little over 10 years, which breaks in their relationship. She described allegations of physical abuse, including being knocked over, dragged, kicked, and stomped in the head. When asked how often the abuse occurs, she said frequently. She also describes getting black eyes and bruises on her body. This is from 10:57 a.m. Cass Ventura called to the stand. Ventura, one of the four accusers expected to testify against Combs, is called to take the stand at 11 a.m. She and Combs dated off and on for more than a decade. She came forward with a federal lawsuit against him in 2023. A key piece of evidence in the video is video of Combs attacking Ventura in the hallway in Los Angeles in 2016. She's also expected to testify about a rape allegation in 2018. Ventura, who performs under the name Cassie, is now married to another man and pregnant with her child. Combs' defense team said in their opening statement that they haven't seen each other since 2018. Ventura's husband and brother are both in the courtroom for support. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is like, I gotta stop here because it's gonna be a long one. I gotta make a part 2 to this, but folks, what do you think of it so far, though? This is gonna be very bizarre. It's gonna be like a very interesting trial. So, what are your thoughts on it so far? Let me know in the comments down below. Peace.